He didn't marry me because he loved me. He married me because he hated my last name. I still remember that day. The wedding hall was filled with people, lights, and music, but none of it felt real. There were no smiles between us, no warmth, no connection, just a silent agreement, a deal. He stood beside me in a perfectly tailored black suit, his face cold, unreadable, distant. Everyone saw a powerful man, but I saw something else, a man carrying a storm inside him. When the vows were spoken, his voice didn't shake, but his eyes never looked at me, not even once. Because to him, I wasn't a bride, I was a reminder of the man who destroyed his family, my father. That night, when the doors closed and the world disappeared, he finally spoke. "You're not here as my wife," he said calmly. "You're here because of what your father did." His words didn't sound loud, but they hurt more than any scream. And I didn't argue, because I knew, no matter what I said, he wouldn't believe me. So I stayed, not as his love, but as his punishment. Days passed, then weeks. Our house was big, but it felt empty. We lived under the same roof, but like strangers. He barely spoke to me, and when he did, his words were short and cold. But something began to change. Not suddenly, not loudly, quietly. One evening, I skipped dinner. I wasn't hungry, or maybe I just didn't feel like existing that day. The next morning, breakfast was already on the table, still warm. No words, no explanation, just there. I didn't ask him about it, and he didn't say anything, but that was the first crack in his walls. After that, small things started happening. He waited for me when I came home late. He made sure the lights were on when I entered the room. He stood a little closer when someone spoke to me harshly. He never said he cared, but I could feel it. And slowly, I started seeing him differently. Not as the man who hated me, but as the man who was trying not to. One night, I found him sitting alone in the dark living room. No lights, no phone, no noise, just silence. I hesitated, but then I walked closer. "Are you okay?" I asked softly. He didn't answer at first. Then, after a long pause, he said, "Do you ever feel like, no matter what you do, the past doesn't let you breathe?" His voice was different, not angry, just tired. That was the first time he let me see his pain, and that was the moment I stopped being afraid of him and started feeling something I wasn't supposed to feel: love. After that night, everything changed. Not dramatically, but deeply. He started talking more. Not about big things, just small, everyday moments. And those moments meant everything. One evening, it started raining heavily. The power went out. The house went dark. I was sitting near the window, watching the rain fall. He walked in and sat beside me. No words, just presence. After a while, he said quietly, "I didn't plan any of this." I turned to look at him. His eyes finally met mine. "I didn't plan to care, and I definitely didn't plan to fall in love with you." My heart stopped, because I had already fallen for him, long before he realized it. But love like ours was never meant to be simple, because the past was still there, waiting. It happened on a quiet afternoon. I was cleaning the study room when I found an old file. Documents, reports, names. Curiosity made me open it. And what I found changed everything. My hands started shaking because the truth was right there, clear, cold, undeniable. My father was not the man who destroyed his family. It was someone else. A setup, a lie, a mistake that was never corrected. And we were living inside that mistake. I felt like the ground disappeared beneath me. Everything we went through, every pain, every word, every moment was built on something that was never true. I went to him that night. My heart was racing, my hands were shaking, but I knew he deserved the truth. I placed the file in front of him. He looked at it, then at me, then back at the file. Silence filled the room, heavy, suffocating silence. He read everything, slowly, carefully. And when he finished, he didn't say anything, not immediately. He just stood there, like he was trying to process a reality he never expected. Then finally, he spoke. So, all this time, his voice broke slightly. I punished you for something you never did? Tears filled my eyes, but I couldn't answer, because there was nothing I could say that would fix this. He stepped back, not in anger, not in hate, but in realization. Like everything he believed in just collapsed. I hated you for something that wasn't even yours to carry. His voice was quieter now. And somehow, I still fell in love with you. That hurt more than anything, because I knew this love was real, but it came from a lie. And sometimes, the truth doesn't save love, it destroys it. Some love stories don't end because people stop loving each other. They end because the truth comes too late.